Hi everyone, today I'm in Menghai area and for lunch I visited my friend Tafa. We had lots of good tea together and he told me why not check an old factory on Nannuo Shan, because we started talking about history. You know, I'm much into it these days. So he took me here. So here we are. This is a factory that was built in 1936, and at that time what they made in Nannuo was black tea. Like cheap CTC black tea, so like just like Lipton tea, that was to be exported through Myanmar, which was a British colony at the time. So it was exported to Myanmar and then brought to a harbor and then exported to Europe. And so it was part at that time of the policies of China of trying to find export tea. At that time, 1936, actually, the tea industry had really collapsed in China due to the implantation of tea plantations in India, all right? But still, at the local level, they tried to find opportunities in the market. Now, the proximity of Menghai to Burma, to British Burma, offered the possibility of making this tea business. But it was in 1936, and as you can guess, that project was a bit short-lived because it was already the Civil War in China and then World War II. Yunnan during World War II was more of a staging area. You've maybe heard about the Flying Tigers. There wasn't a lot of combat in Yunnan, but it was still very affected by the war and more used like a supply line. Apparently throughout the war they kept producing tea in that factory, which was really well, it was sourcing apparently all of the tea from Nannuo Shan. So it was producing about 60 tons per year, which at the time really could be considered a significant volume. At the end of the Civil War, the communists won, and so they collectivized all the properties like this. And so this was also the main factory during the communist era. So all the villagers would harvest tea and take it here for processing. Menghai actually has a more recent tea history than the eastern part of Xishuangbanna, than the 6 famous tea mountains. Or at least, if it has a long tea history, it's certainly not as well documented. Why? Because for a long time, for most of history, Menghai, the west of Xishuangbanna, was not directly controlled by the Chinese, but was controlled by a kind of Dai feudal system. Or we can get in this factory. So this is where they made the black tea. So this is actually the withering mats that they used at the time. So likely during the communist era, they would put the fresh leaves here for withering. I don't really know why they used such a design, because it seems unnecessarily complicated with lots of wood. I would have thought like a mattress like we use nowadays would be more convenient. At first I thought it was a place to dry the tea where like hot air would blow at the bottom. But Tafa says it's not, it's a weathering racks. So you can see here the rolling machine. These are pretty old. And here this is a machine probably for sorting the tea, making it a bit looser. So yeah, the tea history in Menghai at least is not as well documented as in the 6 famous tea mountains. But at that time, the Dai, the Xishuangbanna kingdom with its local leaders had both ties with China and Burma. So we can guess that a lot of the tea that was made here was sold towards Burma. And it wasn't necessarily dried tea leaves to brew, because you know in Burma they also like to eat the tea as a salad. So you can make a pickled tea. It's possible that at the time they made such a tea that they would sell to Burma. I read a record from 130 years ago, like for from 1897 from a French explorer who explored Nannuo Mountain at that time. And he mentioned that the tea industry seemed to be younger here than in Yiwu, but he also mentioned that they would sell the tea to the market in Menghai and exchange it against goods that were imported from Burma, like German cookingware, like spoons, pots, pans that were coming from British Burma. We can also then guess that some of that tea was also exported to Burma at the time. So I think now we're just going to go to Tafa's tea garden and see more of Nannuo Mountain. So during the communist era, it was like the public place, the public tea factory where all the tea would be carried, and then it was used by Taiyi for some time, and I think it was finally unused in like 2004. They just stopped using this factory. And apparently when they built the factory, they actually brought some people from the British colonies, probably Sri Lanka or India, to help them make the tea according to the British standards. So it shows that this tea was really aimed at export overseas. So here you can see Tafa in his natural environment. And this is his tea garden, a tea garden that we occasionally source tea from, because I think Nannuo Shan, especially Banpo Laozai, offers a balanced Menghai profile. Tafa's garden in Banpo Laozai is located on a fairly steep slope, as you can see. The trees are not super big, but I think the taste is really balanced. A lot of Nannuo Shan teas are highly fragrant. This is not really the case of this plot. I think it's more balanced between fragrance and mouthfeel. And I like Nannuo tea because it's a good introduction to the Menghai taste, especially this tea we've been sourcing from Tafa. Now for this year, we've just selected the biggest tea trees in the plantation, and we won't be pressing cakes, we'll sell it as maocha. But on some years we just get more tea and press into cakes. We try to alternate. So yeah, if you want an introduction to the Menghai taste, which is quite, we could say nong, like quite intense, with some bitterness, some astringency, a fairly thick mouthfeel, and a kind of activity on the gums, this is a good introduction to it. As I see it, Nannuo is like the first step in intensity, then you have like Pasha, and then you have Lao Banzang. You could see it as like 3 incremental steps of intensity. So if you ever visit Xishuangbanna, I highly recommend you visit Nannuo Shan. It's a quick getaway from Jinghong, about 40 minutes by car, and you will get to see ancient tea gardens, beautiful landscapes, very nice honey people, and get to taste some great tea to get a first glimpse at that Menghai taste we're all looking for. That concludes this video. Thank you for watching and see you later. Bye bye.